Hi, I'm John Brough, and welcome to Around Town. Today, we're in beautiful Syracuse, New York, named after Syracuse, Sicily, both cities built on the backs of salt and chemical engineering. Today, Syracuse is synonymous with college sports, basketball, football, and lacrosse. But today, we are starting with the Rosamond Gifford Zoo, named after Rosamond Gifford, the only daughter of a prominent Syracuse family who had a love of animals. Today, we're talking with Ted, and he's going to take us around and show us all the animals that you and your family and loved ones must see. So why don't we get inside? Welcome to Around Town. Now we're in the Diversity of Birds Sanctuary with Ted Fox, and he has the beautiful Aranya sloth here, who's the mascot and the only sloth in the Diversity of Birds. So Ted, what do we need to know about this area here?
This is one of our favorite spots in the zoo. Obviously, it's very humid in here, the temperature is high. There's almost 100 birds that live in here of all different species. And of course, we have a mammal, Aranya, the two-toed sloth, which is a really unique animal from Central and South America. We actually have a whole group of sloths around the corner, but Aranya here was injured when she was 4 days old, so she was raised by Sarah and a couple of the other keepers, so she considers them her family. That's why she's so comfortable with them, and she makes a great ambassador for us to meet the guests, get up close and personal, give us an opportunity one-on-one to educate folks about how special these animals are.
And she must interact really well with the birds and all the tortoises and everything here.
It's really enriching for all of them, because in the wild they would have other animals that they would interface with. So in here we try to duplicate that so that there's animals all over the place that they get to see and experience, just like the visitors do.
Right. Oh my gosh. And how many species of birds do we have here?
There's about 27 species in here right now, and just under 100 individuals. We do a lot of really good breeding in here, and then we trade with other zoos, raising a lot of different endangered species. And
she's having a stretch.
She is. It's yoga time.
It is.
Look behind her.
Well, it is humid as heck here. I think we're going to carry on to another great. Where are we going next?
We're going to go see baby red pandas next.
The baby red pandas. So why don't you come along? We'll head on to the next location. Okay, now we're at the red pandas. They're 5 weeks old, endangered species. The zoo is so fortunate to have them. And this is Lufa and Dufa.
That's right.
I mean, what amazing names. What do we need to know about them?
They are twins. They were born, as you said, about 5 weeks ago. The parents that we have here, the father was imported actually from New Zealand, and is an accredited zoo. And one of our biggest goals is to create a genetic population of any of the animals we work with, especially the really endangered ones, so that they can be a healthy population that we can then send out to other zoos to start their own families.
Oh my gosh, they are so cute. And how big will they grow?
They get to be about the size of a large house cat. They're not related actually to giant pandas, although they are pandas. They eat bamboo. That's kind of the connection to giant pandas that they have. They also come from the same region, the Himalayan mountains, and that's why they're so furry. They come from an area that's really cold. So we're really fortunate to have these guys here, and they'll stay here for about a year, and then they go off to another zoo.
Whoa. Come and see them while you still can. And we're off now to the next exhibit, which is
penguins.
We're gonna go see some penguins, so why don't we take a look at that? All right, so now we come to the penguins. So what do we need to know about these guys?
So these are Humboldt penguins, and right now they're being fed one of their favorite fish, a little silver-side minnow. We do that a couple times during the day so that people can observe how penguins move and actually look like they're flying underwater.
They really do.
Which is really cool. We've opened this exhibit in 2005, and we've raised over 50 penguins here at the zoo that have gone to other zoos around the world, actually.
And there's 17 species of penguins in the world, correct?
That's correct. You've
Yes.
done your homework.
I've done my homework.
Yep, and Humboldt are one of the medium-sized penguins. They come from along the coast of Chile and Peru, and they're really an awesome species. They really use the exhibit well. There's bands on them. The males have one on their right flipper and the females on the left, and our visitors learn that quickly, and they're color-coded, so they all have names too. but this is one of the favorite exhibits around Syracuse.
And do they enjoy being in front of an audience? People throw in fish. Do they really enjoy the crowds and the people?
They do. Most of these have been born here, so that they're used to this exhibit. They're used to the people. They're used to our routines. So it's really easy to see what penguins are meant to do by swimming in this deep pool, interface with their keepers, and learn all kinds of things, great things about them.
Right. Well, this is terrific. I mean, they're just diving and diving for the fish. I think we're going to leave them be for a while, and I think we're going off now to the elephants.
Elephants, that's
elephants.
right, John.
So why don't you come along? So now we are in the must-see best place in the whole zoo with the Asian elephants. There's 7 in total, right?
That's correct. We have 7 here right now, but an adult male, 5 females, and a 3-year-old baby that was born here.
And then how long have you had these elephants?
We've had these since the first elephant we got was in 1973, and she still lives here. Siri is the matriarch, and by the way, the phone company stole Siri's name, just saying. But
lawsuit.
Siri is still here. She's a matriarch, a favorite in the community. She's another great ambassador animal that comes up to the fence and greets people sometimes. And this is an incredible exhibit that we built in 2011 with lots of space for the elephants to move around. They can stay as a family group, which is really awesome. Very few places around the world you can see elephants actually staying in a family group with the father, the mothers, and the calves as well.
Right. And so how are people able to interact with the elephants?
They really aren't. Zoos have evolved to be more respectful of the animals and the choices that they can make, so people can't really get close to them. The elephants can move within the 5 acres that they have, or in the building. There's heated floors in the building. It's a 12,000 square foot building.
Oh, wow.
Nice digs for the elephants.
Good to be an elephant, my God.
And so people can see them doing all kinds of natural behaviors. Right now they're all grazing in the field, so it's an opportunity to see them doing what they want to be doing.
Absolutely. And what else should people know about the zoo before we take off here?
I would say we are open all year round, so at any time of the year it's a great time to come visit. We have 60 exhibits that are inside. 60% of the exhibits are inside, so it doesn't matter if the weather is freezing or raining or whatever it is. It's a great spot to be. It's a small enough zoo so you can do it in a couple hours, unlike some of the larger zoos, so it's a great destination for families.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking us around. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, John.
This is one of the best places to come if you're with your family in Syracuse. They have everything. Penguins, I mean, you name it. The elephants, the pandas, the birds, even a sloth. I mean, they're all here. So come to the Rosamond Gifford Zoo. You won't regret it. You'll have a great time. So we'll see you after the break. We're going to the Everson Museum of Art, and we're going to be shown around and show you everything that you and your family has to see there. We'll see you after the break. All right, welcome back. Now we're at Everson Museum of Art, and I always think it's respectful to change, whether you're at theater or museum, into something a little bit more formal, but that's just me. We're gonna go meet Lauren Kyle, and she's gonna take us around and show us some permanent exhibits, in addition to some rotating things that you and your family will love to see. So let's go over and meet her.
Hey.
Ms. Kyle, such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Welcome to the Everson.
Now, we are so excited to be here. We're in this beautiful atrium with this spiral staircase. How did this all come about?
The museum has actually been here for over 100 years, but the building we're standing in right now is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. It was designed by the architect I.M. Pei. It was actually his first museum, and he went on to design the Pyramid at the Louvre, the East Wing at the National Gallery in Washington, D.C., and the Rock Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
So he's just getting started.
Yes, just getting started, but our building itself is a work of art. So when you come here, you're not just looking at the art on the walls, but you're also looking at the building itself, which is kind of a sculpture.
And there's a wonderful echo in the whole building. I mean, it kind of adds to the immersiveness of the museum. You kind of come in here, you want to hush and just, it's very I mean, was that intentional with the project?
It was definitely part of his design, and as we move through the space, I can point out a couple places where you see these big, huge areas, and then you'll go down these tiny little hallways. So it's kind of contracting and expanding space and kind of playing with your experience in the space too. So.
And where are we starting off today?
We're going to start upstairs where some of our permanent collection is on exhibition.
Terrific. All right, so why don't we head upstairs and we'll start the tour?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Lauren, so now we're on the second floor of this beautiful museum, and what exhibit are we in now?
So right now we're in our Visions of America exhibition, which focuses on American paintings from our collection. We have 10,000 objects in the collection here at the Everson. Includes video, ceramics, paintings, sculpture, all different kinds of things. So there's always something new and different to see.
Wow. And here you said there's a George Washington portrait.
Yeah, George Washington's over behind us over here. And it's one of our fan favorites. And another one of the favorite paintings in our collection is the Peaceable Kingdom, which is the second one in on the top on the right over there.
Terrific.
So yeah, those are two of the paintings that people really love to see.
And then you are known for your ceramics here. So what makes the Everson Museum a destination for ceramics?
We have one of the most important collections of American ceramics in the world. We started collecting ceramics very early on in our history. It started with a collection of ceramics by Adelaide Robino that was given to the museum, and from there we just continue to collect, and we're actually excited. We have a new ceramics curator on staff who's going to be installing a new exhibition soon.
Excellent. And are they scattered throughout the museum?
They are. They're always on display, and as you're walking through you'll see some of our really large scale ceramics on display throughout the museum as well, and then we always try to feed them into our exhibitions, and then we have a beautiful new gallery on our lower level that focuses exclusively on ceramics.
Unbelievable. This place is really a place to bring your family. It's great to go on a date. Tours, you do lots of tours, students
tours, classes, yeah, we see about 8,000 school students in a year come through for tours, and then we have all kinds of camps and classes and paint and pours and different things like that, so something for all ages.
Something for everyone, and I think now we're going to head over to the contemporary art section and get a little taste of that, so why don't we come along? Okay, now we're in the contemporary part of the museum, and Lauren, this is a stunning room, so tell us about what we're going to see here.
Yeah, things are going to look very different in this room. So the Everson kind of balances the artwork that we show between that more traditional stuff we just saw in the other gallery and contemporary artwork. So this artwork, the contemporary artwork, are by artists that are living and working today, and they're really important because they are the next generation of art history.
Absolutely.
So they're making all of this big, beautiful work, and it gives us a chance to show off our big, beautiful galleries, and it's really just an important part of what we do here at the Everson.
Now, so these on the wall, is this all by the same artist?
It is. This is all by Daryl Hudo. He's a local artist, and he's been working with this kind of idea and theme of the diamonds, either through these diamond paintings or the sailboats that you see in the paintings on the wall here. So we focused on that element of his work for this show.
And what classifies modern art? I mean, in a sense, is it the style? I mean, how can people distinguish?
Sure, style and time period. So it started in the late 19th century and carried on, and then contemporary kind of changes over where we get to artists that are living and working today.
Absolutely. And is there one artist here that would stand above the rest, that people would come here and say, that's the one we have to see?
We have so many important paintings and artworks and sculptures and ceramics in our collection, so I'd hate to distinguish one above the other.
That's a very good answer.
But we like people to come in here and look at the artwork and find what speaks to them when they're exploring. We offer gallery guides and tours and different things like that can help, but we like people to pick their own favorites.
And what would be a favorite that you see is a common thread?
We have a couple of interesting ceramics. We have something called, what is referred to often as the dinosaur egg, which is a big piece of ceramics that sits in our sculpture court that people really like. The George Washington painting, the Peaceable Kingdom painting are all really important to us. So, yeah.
All right, Lauren, so now you mentioned the dinosaur egg, so I think we're going to go down and take a quick peek at that, because, I mean, who doesn't want to see a dinosaur egg? So why don't we go down and take a look? So now we're downstairs at the famous spotted cow dinosaur egg that is 3,000 years old, I hear.
Yeah, almost. So this is actually, the artist Kaneko made this sculpture, and it is untitled, but it got its nickname because when we bring schools through and kids through, we like to have them look at the artwork and tell us what they're seeing. So you can definitely see where it got its nickname.
And what are some great responses that you've had?
A lot of people pick up on the nuances of the building, the pink and the concrete that you'll see when you come here. There's a wood texture that you'll see in some of our concrete on the staircase and things like that that people always ask about. So yeah, people pick up on all kinds of different things. It's fun.
And the Everson is open from Wednesday to Sunday.
Correct.
All year round.
Yes.
And I mean, if you're coming in a group for school, if you're coming with your family, if you're coming just on a tour in the city and you have nothing else to do, I mean, they got to come to the museum, right?
They do. It's a must-see.
It's a must-see. Well, Lauren, thank you so, so much. You've been an absolute pleasure. And I think now we're going to carry on to the Marriott Hotel, which is a place to stay after you've come and taken a whole tour of the museum and you're exhausted, need to flop into bed. And I think we'll be there right after the break. So we'll see you then. All right, welcome back. Now, if you and your family are staying in Syracuse, look no further than the Syracuse Hotel Downtown. It is absolutely historical. The ceilings are vaulted. There's so much history. Presidents, John Lennon, dignitaries from all around the world have stayed here, and they're doing a $70 million renovation for you to have the most unbelievable experience possible. I'm gonna go talk to Michael, and he's gonna show us around some key places here, a great ballroom for events, the presidential suite, and the room that John Lennon stayed in. So let's go take a look and see all he has to offer. Let's go. All right, Michael, thank you very much for having us.
Pleasure. Glad you're here.
Yes. So what do people need to know about the Marriott Downtown? What sets this hotel apart?
Well, here's the thing. We're a historic hotel that's been brought up in the modern era, and as we like to put it, it's been resurrected. So what we have is probably one of the most historic buildings in the entire city of Syracuse that is a pride piece for its people, because it's always been the central hub for the city. But as you bring it into the modern area, we're a full-service Marriott. So we have a lot of modern amenities and offerings, including 2 restaurants on the ground level,
Gym,
cafe, the list goes on. And so we have so many different offerings that a normal city center hotel doesn't offer, so much so that we took home the #1 Historic Hotel City Center Award this year.
That is really something
Pretty unheard of for a first-year property.
So in terms of rooms, how many rooms do you have here?
So just shy of 300 rooms, including suites.
Which is massive for a hotel.
Right, and exactly. And so we're 11 stories, and we also boast 3 ballrooms in addition to that. We are wedding central for upstate New York.
This is where you have to get married. So we're going to go up and check up the presidential suite first.
Indeed.
And then John Lennon's room that he stayed in. What number was that?
That's 830.
830. So should we go check that?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. We've entered the presidential suite. I mean, and this is really immaculate, modern for such a historic hotel.
Absolutely.
This is a presidential suite for the modern age.
Indeed.
2-bedroom, 2-bath, powder room and kitchen. And I mean, what else do you need?
Exactly. So the kitchen has its own private entrance off the hallway, so you can actually cater to the room. We have all the interlocking rooms down the hallway. So if you have friends, family, the bandmates, further detail, we can unlock the rooms and kind of like a puzzle piece, make it even a larger
Have
suite.
your whole team stay on the floor.
You got it.
And you have someone play the grand piano. I mean,
Sure.
what more can you like?
We have a baby grand up here. It's one of 3 pianos in-house.
Yes.
The concert chickering in the lobby. The 10th floor has a baby grand, and of course a private one in case you want to entertain. The best part about the presidential suite is that it's actually, it doesn't even belong to our catalog. You got to know someone to know someone, basically, right? 5 U.S. presidents, multiple musicians over the years, historically, from Nat King Cole to Elvis Presley, you name it, right? So we have a long, rich history here at the hotel. But the best part about this is Stickley and Audi Furniture, one of the most famous,
we love them
in history, period, have developed and created a really modern look here, and took the bid to remake all of the suites in the hotel.
And it's very chic, effortlessly so. I mean, just from the light fixtures, everything is just very cohesive. It's really wonderfully done. Now we're in 930, Michael. So unfortunately, John Lennon's room is in such high demand it's occupied, but this is 1 floor up, 930.
Exactly.
Same setup, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and a powder room.
Yep.
Dining room and living room. I mean, it's really quite beautiful here.
And so the best part about the suites here at the hotel is that they're so comfortable as a mix between the historic and the modern. Great views, because they're always on the corner, so you have spectacular views of the city skyline. The best thing about Syracuse is the higher you go, the easier it is to see the history of the city, because hand-painted logos from homegrown businesses are all over the buildings up high. It kind of tells a tale of our past. But the best thing too about these suites is it gives room for people to break out and host guests and have centerpieces like the dining area.
So if people aren't able to stay in the presidential suite or John and Yoko's suite or the floor above, the more standard rooms here,
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what they're like?
Absolutely. The standard rooms honestly aren't too much less featured than these rooms. They just don't possess the extra breakout rooms, such as the living room here. So each room has its own bathroom, its own chest and drawers built in as a combo for the closet. All the modern features that you'd expect out of a full-service Marriott, and then also furniture that is modular, so you can move it, turn it, along with the TV to swivel per the dining or the hangout area or the bedroom. So
terrific. All right, Michael. So now we are entering the most magnificent grand ballroom. I mean, this you said it. We were coming up the elevator. This is like the Beauty and the Beast.
This is it.
Ballroom.
This is what you dream of. I wouldn't put it past you, John. It's okay to stand in the middle and just take it all in, because truthfully, from the parquet floors to the touches, the beautiful chandeliers, the hand-painted lofted ceilings,
columns going up.
It's gorgeous. It's the most spectacular wedding venue the entire upstate has to offer, and then
this view,
the view of the other half of the city looks out over the valley. So as the seasons change, so does the foliage, and it becomes even more beautiful, if that's possible. Wedding central, you know. And
the balconies here. I mean, you can set up buffets. You can have an orchestra up there if you wanted.
Indeed.
You can put the kids up there if you don't want to see them. I mean, it's
yeah, right. And so the little touches, including the throwbacks to the mythology and the details. It's just a really grandiose, spectacular location, and anyone can rent it. And for occasions, so you see all kinds of transformations of this space, from weddings to galas to special events,
fundraisers. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, this is one of the most magnificent ballrooms I've ever seen, even in New York City. This rivals anything that is really there also. I mean, this is the place to have your events, weddings, parties, fundraisers, galas, anything. This is the place. And how can they reserve this space?
So actually, we have a director of wedding and catering events here at the hotel, Lindsay Cole, and she is the #1 contact for weddings. Lindsay is your lady if you're thinking about having a wedding here, whether it be in the Persian or even our newly renovated Finger Lakes Ballroom.
Now, and we have to mention the fitness room on the same floor as the presidential suite, completely modern, overlooking all of Syracuse. It has an interactive television for Pilates, for different exercises. You have the restaurants downstairs. The two names are?
11 Waters, the upstate-inspired Finger Lakes Bistro, named for the region that we're next to, and sourcing all local ingredients. And then also right across the hallway is our sports-friendly Irish pub, Shaughnessy's. Tons of beer on tap, 21 TVs, and all kinds of special events going through there.
Everything you could ever want in one hotel. This is the place to stay. And Michael, thank you so much for taking us around.
John.
Didn't he just take us on a terrific tour? Now, you and your families, if you're in Syracuse, there's no better place to stay than the Marriott Downtown in Syracuse. I'm actually staying here tonight, so you can attest that it is a spectacular hotel, and I hope to see you around town or wherever your travels may take you. We'll see you next time.